cost structure for those solutions. For the Swindon people, you've talked about making the software available in the clouds for those people to actually download and use. But what has been the penetration level? Now making it available is one, people are aware it's two, but how have they accessed it? Do we have concrete data about, okay, we made it available and now we can say we have 200, 300, 4 million people actually downloading and using it, because that is where we will have the benefit for these things.
500 SMEs. In fact, what we did was to select from the win our deals, and even those that are in business to go on the platform. We are just at the initial stage, pilot stage, and once we're able to have success rate on 500, then we can go to anywhere to spread the gospel that this software is here. You can make use of it. It comprises of bookkeeping. It keeps your book. Once you log in as you want to create an account, and you click the software you want, personnel, payroll, bookkeeping, it comes and you make use of it. So we are just at the pilot stage. I think last week we just selected 500.
So about sport in the SCT. Before now, if you remember, when we have the former minister, Honorable Minister of Verify, we went to partnership with some PPP arrangement with some service providers, suburban and suburban especially. But what actually happened now, the FCT was supposed to provide infrastructures and hosting of those equipment by way of making sure they are secure, and the ability light supply. So some of these devices were hosted in our establishment. If you remember, if you go to the Millennium Park, then you will find it there and all that. And we wanted it to be a situation where the FCT will be an e-commerce city. But that was not the right way to do. We just wanted to do a stopgap before we'll be able to do the right thing in terms of having everything properly done. But in the course of the events, data doesn't come cheap presently because of the ability of power supply. The PPP, that's our partner, the suburban, they pulled out of that arrangement. That's why you will see suddenly, it's not that maybe it's working in one particular location, but it just stopped totally. But right now, the present administration, we are on the verge of launching, making FCT a data, an e-city, because we found out that if you don't get data, if data is not cheap, most of these things, people cannot afford it. Now look at the subscription you do with all these service providers. You pay, sometimes you don't get the supposed bandwidth, and you are paying for it. And sometimes one of the challenges they usually face is they will tell you they are sourcing from it as a third party. So whatever they are giving you is not the proper thing. So by so doing now, the FCT, we are partnering with Galaxy Backbone to make Abuja an e-city. That will come up very shortly. Thank you very much.
As well as the skill gap. And I think the research today showed us the same thing. All the research that had been conducted showed the same thing. We're very committed to both of them. But we have increased even our investment in Africa in particular, under an initiative called the For Africa that has 3 pillars: access, skills, and innovation. We focus on innovation and relevance, and we want the innovation to be driven by Africans for Africans. And then Africa will be able to export that beyond the country or the continent, rather than importing everything from the developed world or the Western world. I see no reason why we don't have Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and the likes from Africa. We've got 50% of the population under the age of 20. Very vibrant, very growing, fast-growing, economies. So that is very important. So we do focus on that. We have increased our investment in terms of the skills development for SMEs in particular. We've launched a number of things, and very recently there is the SME portal that includes, tools, case studies, and online learning, and so on and so forth. For the innovation, I think we've got partnership with, all across Africa. Africans to start innovating, see the value of their innovation and ideas, and be able to develop business models and develop businesses around that. And that's how they can be contributor and grow their business, like locally as well as regionally and beyond.
The cloud is inevitable, that's number one, so we know there is no going back. We have to get into the cloud. If you're not there already, today's your day, and there are many ways in which you can. I can give you all the URLs that you want for getting access into the cloud. Because the cloud is inevitable, we have to devise a strategy for how we're going to get our country the benefits, the right socio-economic benefits from it. And I think one of the most important things I've heard coming from the panelists as well as teeing off of the research is that you've got to have a ubiquitous, that is, and pervasive access, but it must be sustainable, so we have to build a sustainable model for it, and it must be relevant and respectful to the organizations and individuals who you intend to utilize the cloud if you're going to get acceleration. And I hope that tidies up this part. Thank you very much for your time.
Education Senate Sayo. She is the CEO of Leading Learning Limited, Nigerian Research